Hi, I'm Bill from CJ Pony Parts. I've always said interior upgrades are a great idea for your Mustang because honestly that's where you spend most of your time. This custom billet shift handle from Barton Industries is going to fit your 2015 through 2017 Mustang GT, V6 or automatic, and it's a great way to add a custom touch to your interior. This is available in several different finishes, and today we're going to show you how to install it using this 2017 EcoBoost Mustang. This custom billet shift handle from Barton Industries is going to fit, like I said, your 2015 through 2017 GT, V6 or EcoBoost with automatic transmission. It's going to be a direct replacement for the stock handle. It's made of high quality billet and it's available in 4 different finishes. Available in the satin with black insert shown here. It's also available in an all black, an all satin, or a black with the satin insert. For this installation, we had a small shorty Phillips head screwdriver, cutters, and a plastic pry bar. The installation is going to be pretty straightforward. I'm going to walk you through the process and let Brendan handle the actual installation itself. The first thing you want to do is, without starting the car, so do not put your foot on the brake, hit the start stop button, and you're going to push down, put it back in drive or neutral. Makes it a lot easier to get the factory parts off. Now the first step in the process is you need to remove the factory bezel. So to do that, remove the little rubber cup from the front, then very carefully pry up on the chrome bezel and kind of shimmy it to loosen it up. The clips can be rather tight, so you have to provide a decent amount of pressure, but it will pop off. Okay, with the chrome bezel off, now we're going to lift up on the black bezel, which actually has the reverse park on lettering on it. Once you lift up on that, you do want to disconnect the harness before you can remove the shifter and the boot with the lower bezel. Well, sometimes a small plastic pry bar can make this a little bit easier. Okay, once it's unplugged, you can pull up on the bezel, and then there are 2 small Phillips head screws in the front of the handle. We're going to remove those 2 Phillips head screws, then you remove the shift handle and the boot and bezel all as one piece. Now with this angle, the screws are kind of hard to see, but they're easy to get to. Again, use a shorty screwdriver and just remove the screws, and the whole assembly will come off. You want to make sure you keep these screws handy as you will use them with the Barton install. Okay, now we're ready to begin our Barton installation. We're going to start by installing this small adapter. What you're going to do is these 2 factory screws you just removed are going to go in the front of this adapter. And again, then make sure the slot is facing the driver's side when you install it. All right, so once that's secure, you want to grab the 2 small springs provided by Barton. These are going to go into 2 holes in the back of the adapter we just installed. Basically, the reason for this is how you're going to release the gears. On the Barton, you're simply going to push down, and the springs will return to the stock location. The next step we're going to do here on the table, we have to separate the factory shift knob from the actual boot itself. And what we're going to do is a small plastic trim piece on the bottom. You're going to kind of hold that and then sort of turn the actual shift knob and kind of jiggle it to separate the 2 pieces. You can use a small screwdriver as well, but you can actually do it by hand. And the last modification to the stock bezel here and the boot itself is to remove this black plastic trim piece. It is glued to the boot. Very easy to remove though. Just simply grab the boot and sort of squeeze around the edges and it'll separate from the plastic piece. All right, so the next step now is to install our Barton shift handle onto our factory boot. So what I want to do, make sure the grips are facing forward. You need to put this through from the underside and sort of just work it through until the boot comes down around this ridge here, which we'll install then with a zip tie. And once you have it down to this black piece here, it's pretty much in that groove. Grab the supplied zip tie. Tighten that down and then cut it off. Okay, so we're ready to install our Barton shift handle now. You want to grab this really small screw that's included. This is the set screw that's going to hold it to the adapter. Get this started in the side of the shifter first, then slide it over the adapter. Just get 1 or 2 threads so it doesn't fall out. Just make sure it doesn't go all the way through. You won't be able to get it seated. Right, now we're ready to install the handle. What you're going to do is those 2 springs, there's actually 2 cups inside the shifter itself. So we slide it down, make sure the springs stay centered and seat where they're supposed to. Then slide the handle down and tighten up the screw on the side. All right, now before we put it all back together, you want to push down on the shift handle, just make sure it moves like it's supposed to, then we can reinstall the bezels. Don't forget to plug it in. Okay, now we can install the chrome bezel. Make sure you put the back part of the bezel in first, clip it in the front, install the storage coupling, and your installation is finished. All right, so with everything done, we're going to try it out now. Again, you have to put your foot on the brake. You'll just push down, and it works just like the normal shifter now. The Barton shifter looks a lot better than the stock shifter. As we showed you, it's pretty simple to install. This install should take you no more than about an hour, and you'll be back on the road in no time.